tonight, make us be ever mindful of you. Please bless us commissioners that we may make proper decisions in the eyes of all the citizens of our city. Bless all those gathered here tonight, that they are interested in our city and its well-being. Bless our military who work to protect our freedoms every day. In Christ our Lord, amen.
Amen. Now call this meeting of the 14th Day City Commission to order. First thing we have is our consent agenda. We have a minute from a regular commission meeting on 3/21. Everybody had a chance to look those over, and if so, I need a motion. Second moved by Commissioner Thursday, second by Commissioner Ashbrook. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right.
I can take it on if
All right.
you'd like me to.
Go ahead.
Under the PSJRA, the promenade lighting proposal, we have a proposal to, for 4 gooseneck lights on the new promenade paver area down near George Ford Park. The PSJRA, I think would pay for the actual installation and so forth of the lights, but they would ask the city to pay the monthly charge for those 4 lights. And, oh gosh, was it $175
Something like that,
a month?
174.
I think $174 a month for that. So that's what we're on that. If anybody wants to discuss, make a motion, what have you.
Commissioner Bissett, one thing we talked about in the meeting earlier, I believe Commissioner Ashbrook has something on there tonight. Someone else said, maybe Brett said there was another one I'd spoke about. Do we need to wait and do that? Do you want to go ahead and approve these and then we can approve the other ones next week? Or Jim, do you think we
Well,
should
they're-
do that we did it all together, or what would you think?
I see
Either way.
lighting on Mimosa. And I think what you were discussing on a request from a citizen in a dark area would be possibly getting with John and just see if the light's out or gone or what
I
have
think
you.
it's
But,
gone, but
I
it didn't
mean,
matter to me. I didn't.
I think we can take one at a time, actually. I don't see
Is there any difference,
No,
Jim,
sir.
in that?
No,
Okay,
sir.
well, I make a motion, then we move forward with this on the PSJRA.
that the city pay for the 4 lights that the
The
PSJRA
monthly
are
cost.
gonna install on the promenade.
Okay, we have a motion, Commissioner Thursday, a second, Commissioner Brazil.
Yes.
Discussion. Where's money coming from?
That's what I was gonna say, one
That's
question I
$2,100 a year.
have, that's my question, is now that the PSJRA has a revenue source in that park, we wanna pay that just like they pay utilities, and the Manitowoc should be allowed them to pay the utilities for that walking area as well, the promenade.
I think that would be a great idea.
Let's let the people that are renting that area pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, just like, you're talking about in the city budget, I think PSJRA would have to see if it's in their budget.
Sure.
I know the payment of the lights is in the budget, but I haven't talked to Bill about his monthly amount in the budget. So,
We,
They're already paying utilities for the house, that's what I'm saying. They just
well,
add
and
on
I'm
to
just
that.
wondering, is that something that maybe right now we need to, the city take on? But budget time next year to do the PSJRA budget. We do it that way.
that's a good point.
You know what I mean,
I'll be
right
fine with
now,
that
for
until
us to get
October.
it done, and then in October, it reverts to PSJRA for them to pay theirs.
Yeah, I
Are
think,
you okay with that?
right, you're gonna amend your.
Yeah, I'm
motion
in
to-
my motion that we do this through October.
Right,
So
hopefully we get them
hopefully by
up,
first.
hopefully get them up before we.
Right, right.
All right, second,
That's
Commissioner.
second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. All right, city attorney.
Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening.
First thing on the agenda is the update on the Watley Funeral Home case. The judge issued his final decision last Thursday, and in so doing, he found that all procedural due process was afforded, all essential requirements of law were observed, and that the city's decision was based on competent, excuse me, and substantial evidence, and he affirmed the decision of the city commission.
Good
Good
job.
work. I just want to
Appreciate
commend
you
you
handling
for a good
that.
job.
Thanks. The next item on the agenda that I have is the second reading and consideration of adoption of ordinance 428 that deals with the boat ramp, establishing the, basically the city waterfront areas.
Move the second reading.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Azette, second by Commissioner Ashbrook. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
And we need a public discussion if anyone wants to discuss it.
Anyone from the public wish to discuss this? Come on up.
Well, I just want to say thank you.
Oh, okay.
Good job, guys.
All right, I'll go ahead and read it. This ordinance, City of Port St. Joe Ordinance 528, an ordinance of the City of Port St. Joe, Florida, designating the city waterfront area, providing for segregation of certain city general fund revenue, providing for limits on the expenditure of said funds, providing for repeal of ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Move adoption.
I got a motion by Commissioner Azette,
Second.
second by Commissioner Ashbrook. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Yes, right. That's right there. All right, the next thing on the agenda is ordinance number 530.
4:30?
Actually, that's a typo. We just,
It is 5:30?
it's 530, and the one before that is 528.
Okay.
And that deals with the capital improvement plan update. Public discussion, and then a motion for second reading.
All right, anybody from the public?
I have
Any discussion?
I have one question, Mr. Mayor. Jim, on page 10, water distribution system phase 3, that $1 million for fiscal year 18-19, would that be the final pipe from the plant? Or what else is included in that?
Let's see, you're looking at the. Which one, you on page 10, which item are you looking at again?
Number 2 underwater.
Number 2, underwater, where do we see phase 3, place? We kept it generic in there because we know we've got about 80% of the work done, but we still kept it generic out there because we know there's still work to be done within the city, that 20%.
This doesn't prohibit us from going after grants immediately
No.
for the last phase?
That's, that's why we put it in your capital improvement plan, because we want to make sure we earmark it in case we do find grant money on there. People can understand that we are serious about replacing those pipes within the
I'd
city.
like to have it done by 2019.
All right.
Motion to read ordinance 4-530.
All right, got a motion by Commissioner Ashbrook, we have a second.
I'll say.
Second by Commissioner Thursby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
City of Port St. Joe ordinance number 530, an ordinance of the City of Port St. Joe, Florida, amending the capital improvements element of the comprehensive plan, amending the 5-year capital improvement plan, adopting the updated school district 5-year work plan, providing for repeal of all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
All right.
Motion to adopt.
Motion by Commissioner Ashbrook,
Second.
second by Commissioner Thursby. All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, motion carries.
The last thing on my agenda for this evening would be the first reading of City of Port St. Joe ordinance 531.
Make a motion.
Got a motion by Commissioner Azette,
Second.
second by Commissioner Ashbrook.
Public discussion?
Public discussion.
I'm sorry. No, no.
You got me, you can take over anytime you want.
I'm sorry.
I'll let you know, man.
I apologize.
Again, I'm gonna just say on this, I don't think this is the way to go to solve our problem. I think we need to restructure our billing cycles. People don't get so far behind on the bill before we go to collecting from them. I have heard a couple of people, and I've raised a few people say, they didn't think that was the way we should go by raising the deposit amount.
this, but I do think that we need to cut people off sooner. We're floating an awful long time unless that goes higher and higher.
I'm not crazy for raising anything, but I think we gotta start somewhere. And this is not gonna affect the ones that are currently on board in any way, shape, or form. But
All I care about is that we get an average of a month, you know what I mean? So if we do cut them off, we're gonna get a month out of it.
Everybody second stand on that? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, likewise, no.
No,
Motion carries 3-2.
Public discussion on that. Go ahead and read it.
Go ahead.
Ordinance, Port St. Joe Ordinance 531 is proposed, an ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance 311 and 488 of the Code of the City of Port St. Joe pertaining to application, deposit, connection, and account transfer fees, providing for the repeal of all ordinance or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing for an effective date.
All right, and this will come up our next meeting for adoption.
I need to request a permission to advertise this in the paper, and then we come up. I don't know if we'd have time for our next meeting, but it'd be the meeting after that.
All right.
you had a vote on that?
Make a motion to advertise.
Second.
Got a motion from Commissioner Brazil, second.
Second.
Commissioner Ashburn, all in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mayor. That's all I have this evening.
All right. Jim?
Yes, sir. The first item I have on there, Mayor, is the utility billing write-off policy. Commissioner Thursday want to talk to you tonight about it.
Yeah, guys, I had our attorney draw up a little tweaking to our last one that was passed on the utility billing. I guess all you had a chance to look over it. For the policy of utility billing adjustments, and, I'll make a motion that we move forward with, utility write-off policy from us.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Thursby,
Second for discussion.
Commissioner Ashburn for this discussion.
Commissioner, can you let us know what are the changes and tweaks that were made to this?
Just that it does not have to be an actual leak founded. It could be also something that says, you know, that someone, when you were out of town, maybe somebody washed their boat and left the water hose on. At one time a year, you would get the same, it was under the old policy.
Okay, and this doesn't have the plumber requirement either.
Right, absolutely. That's the difference.
the only thing I've got is city staff comfortable with this, Jim. I mean, is this good?
Yes, sir, we can follow this.
I have some concerns. First of all, in the second paragraph, it says water leaks on the customer side of the meter may be considered for adjustment by the city. And all through this, we talk about water leaks. And so somebody got to say, I had a water leak, even though they don't have to have a plumber come and say, yeah, we fixed his water leak, so we need to help him. This talks about water leaks in 3 or 4 different places in here. So, you know, I think what I'm reading right now, I come to the city manager for an adjustment. I have to say I had a leak. And Commissioner Thursby just indicated that that's not the case. So, you know, if somebody's irresponsible and got a flat valve in their toilet, well, I'm gonna fix it tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes, and then comes and says, well, I had a leak, I want an adjustment. Well, you know, we gotta have a leak, is that, well, am I reading it right, Commissioner Thursby?
Well,
It says water leaks approved for credit there in the middle.
you know, my first intention was to give the city manager discretion to, talk to us about this. The attorney and I went over the last one, and he advised me that this would be the best way for us to write this out.
I do understand what Commissioner Lizette is saying with the leaks might not necessarily be the right word, because as long as it's over, the way this is written, as long as it's over 6 months average. Doesn't really matter whether there's a leak or not, it's just over that amount.
Can we change that word leaks to usage, water usage?
That would probably be.
And I still wanna move forward with us voting on this tonight. This has been drug out for little technicalities for
Well, I don't
2
think that's a
months.
technicality. When
I
you,
think it is.
you come to the city manager and say, I didn't use this water, I want to adjust it.
Commissioner, what about if we took it, instead of saying at least twice to 6 month average, what about 3 times? I mean, I could use double the monthly average if I do want to vote in the summertime, you know what I mean? And that could just be average usage to double your, to double.
I'm fine with 3 times, David, if we wanna
It
go
makes
ahead
it
and change that now.
a little bit harder to meet
All
that.
right, so we're gonna change 3 times, and we're gonna change the word from leaks to usage. So my motion is to move forward with this adjustment policy with the, different things that we put in,
The changes you
the
made.
changes we made.
I mean, is staff comfortable with that?
Well, no, I'm
You're
not
still not?
comfortable with it, no, and we're still in discussion.
Try to
We
compromise.
had I mean, look, we had a gentleman with a private business come in here 3 meetings ago, or 4 meetings ago, that had a 1,900 water bill for a private business. He said he had no leak. We checked the meter out, the meter checked fine, there was nothing wrong with the meter. The gentleman uses city water occasionally when his pumps go out and run his wastewater treatment plant. Well, my point I'm getting ready to make is this. He came in wanting, this bill was in March of 2016, by the way, also over 12 months away. Now, he was, at that time that he made that request, we had a write-off policy, he didn't qualify. Now, are you telling me that this gentleman can come in there now and say, I want my bill adjusted?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
I believe so.
So, yep. So anybody come in from a year
You know,
or
he's
two
been
ago,
working with staff and, doing that, so, you know, there's 2 or 3 of them I've been working with all along, and, yeah, I'm good with that.
so, you know, my point, gentlemen, is this. I wanna reduce our water rates more than anybody. But if we keep giving away water, we'll never get it reduced. People that do pay their bill and are responsible are having to pick up the slack for those that don't. So, you know, we gotta get tighter, if we figure a way to get our billing cycle better and get people cut off quicker, you know, so be it, but still, we can't keep giving water away and lower water rates that we've all talked about doing forever. So, that's all I can say.
Here's a question for Mr. Attorney. If we go forward with this, is this gonna open up years and years of people that said, oh, wow, 2 years ago I had a problem? Is there any way to make this, going forward or effective as of January 1st, or how do we stop that? Because this could be opening up a whole lot of,
I don't think you can go, no,
Past complaints.
expect to go backwards on it. I mean,
so whatever
for people-
policy was in place at the time of the problem would be what covers that issue.
Unless that they had already spoke to staff about this policy within the last, I would say, year.
He's saying you can't go back, the attorney's saying you can't go back.
And that's my
And this-
question,
this-
what policy?
The $1,900 bill that I'm talking about, we all know what you're talking about, who it is, was a year ago.
I think you guys can do it any way you want. There's no,
So, yeah, I think the bottom line is, well, we are opening up a can of worms. Because everybody can look back on their bill now and say, happened high that month, I want an adjustment.
I think.
I don't think if they were already in, I don't know, not the litigation, but talking with staff about their water bill, that might be a little different scenario than somebody that's never said anything about a bill, and all of a sudden they come up out of the blue and say, oh, I had a bill. but you've never brought it up before, you know. This has been brought up before, this particular bill we're talking about.
Yeah, if it's already in the queue for resolution, it would apply.
Right.
Is that fair?
That's a decision for you guys to make, how you wanna do it.
Is that your motion?
That's my motion.
Your second stand?
I just, if you wanna adopt this and just looking over it, the first sentence, I think you can just take totally out. And then the second sentence would read, water usage may be considered for adjustment by the city utility department if the total month's usage is at least 3 times the 6-month average usage. And then everything else would be the same, you take out the word leaks down below. So they'd be generally the same, but change the way you want, that first sentence would make no sense anymore.
Now, we're gonna, and also on utility charges, they, professional hardship, they pay for it over time, but we're already reducing it down to their normal monthly payment. So why would we wanna let them pay for it on time? You see what I'm saying? We're bringing it down to the 6-month average.
Well, how did we come up, that's the amount, 6-month average at a similar time period, like last July would apply, if this July they were over?
I don't know.
I'm fine with taking out the 12-month period for 2 billing. I'm fine with taking that out. If we're gonna reduce your bill down, I don't think that you need 12 months.
Pay for it every month, so, can't you pay for it that?
But that was if the city wasn't gonna do it.
Okay.
And it was determined that it was on their side.
If it's due,
Right.
they pay.
Okay, I see
leader.
what you're saying, so leave that in there. All right, my motion stands.
Alright.
Stands.
Second stand. All right, any further discussion?
What is the ordinance gonna
Yeah.
I mean,
Let me-
I'm lost,
Okay,
Read the ordinance to us.
as
and
changed.
it's actually not,
As
it's
been
not an
changed,
ordinance, it's just a policy. All right. Water usage may be considered for adjustment by the city utility department if the total month's usage is at least 3 times the 6-month average usage. Requests for utility billing adjustments must be submitted to the city utility department on a request for utility billing adjustment form. If approved, the city department will determine the gallons approved for credit based on the usage history of the customer in prior comparable periods. Water usage approved for credit will be eligible for 100% of the related sewer charge, but not less than the 6-month average. Reduction of water charge to total gallons multiplied by the lowest 1,000 gallon charge in place during the month of the requested adjustment, limited to 1 adjustment in a 12-month period for 2 billing periods. And then everything else is the same.
Everybody straight on what it's gonna be? Further questions on that? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? No. Motion passes 4-1.
Thank you, guys.
All right, the next item we have is a reference to the Commerce Park lot utilities. As we indicated at the last meeting, we did have some utilities that are on that lot. We are working with staff right now, working to try to get those moved. So we're in the process this week to see what we can do to get those moved to the front of Commerce Park.
Oh, can I say something on that? I've spoke with Public Works on this, and, we had spoke a couple of weeks ago about moving forward with the sidewalks. But being that this is very time sensitive, this particular project is gonna set us back a little bit on the sidewalks on Hodrick, Avenue D. Correct, and saying that, Don, and, I just want everybody to know we have not forgotten that project, but the one that we just spoke of, to go ahead and get that lot sold. It's very time sensitive, and we have to allow our people to get out there and do that, so I just want everybody to know I'm not forgetting about that. We're gonna move forward with the sidewalks, but we do have to get this done so that we can potentially sell this lot, finally. That's all I got.
The next item we have is the grant writer position. Commissioner Ashbrook wanted to talk to you tonight about it.
Yeah, we brought to mention, it did come up at the last meeting, and I just kind of wanted to feel the board out and see how you felt about, moving forward with this at this point, or do we want to wait until October, to get started with this? Any thoughts? We would have to find money out of each department.
Dave, how do you feel about it?
I mean,
hiring, at least go ahead and see what's out there, or? you
I
don't-
mean, we
see-
could go and look for employees with a start date of October.
Yeah, and I'd be fine with that, if you're okay with that, I'm good with that.
I mean, what do you think, Ms. Charlotte, you're the HR guru, how soon can we start looking, if we're looking for an October start date? Probably need a couple months.
You could advertise and see what you have, and if you don't like what you receive, re-advertise.
Okay.
But
I'm fine with
certainly,
starting now, and then we can just let them know. I'm
You know-
fine with the start date.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and advertise. What I originally proposed was a 20-hour position right now, part-time, with each department paying a portion of that. Did we discuss pay?
We did not, and that's probably something David on the workshop.
Well, and that'd be based on qualifications too, I would assume.
Sure. I would put it on.
I mean, I'd say not to exceed maybe 15 or 16 bucks an hour tops, based on experience.
Hey, well, I don't know if we can get to that, I've never hired a grant writer before, so I
Maybe
think
we
we,
get off with grants.
we may have to get our feet wet on that one, I don't know.
Well, I think we probably need to do it based on qualifications,
Sure.
because we might get an offer of a consultant or something, you never know what we might get.
But we workshop that one day, guys, and let's sit down and all put our heads together on that. Yeah, I'm fine with moving forward with doing that, but when it comes to the salary part of it, or the pay scale, or what have you, let's workshop that.
But if we're waiting until October to start this position, we may decide in the budget cycle that we want to do a full-time position. So,
There you go.
do we want to talk about this more before we pull the trigger?
You put it on there, what you want to do.
It's your baby.
But do what you want to do.
I mean, if
man.
we're waiting until October, let's not advertise it at this point, because I think that we had discussed potentially a full-time position for that, in the next budget cycle. It's gonna be a small piece out of everybody's budget, and I think if they're actively looking for grants in every department, and they start producing, it's a win-win. Year to year, we'll decide on whether we keep it.
Okay.
Table that for now.
I'm good with that, if you're good with that.
all right, on the new business, the first item we have is RFP 2017-03. This is the FERDAC grant playground equipment, that we went out to bid for. We went out to bid, understanding that we had about $39,000 left from the grant to purchase playground equipment, and we were pleasantly surprised. If you go to your folder, we did show you a piece of equipment that we would like to recommend to you. It is at the higher end of the money that we have left in the budget, but it seems to be a top-notch piece of equipment on that. What this would require, though, there would be enough in the grant to buy the equipment, but we would still have to create a fall zone, an area around it that, you could use wood chip, sand, there's different items that you can use on there. So if you went that route, we would need to come up with about $5,000 in city funds to be able to do that. You could go to a lesser piece of equipment and keep within the grant, but I think this is a kind of a one-shot deal to get a really nice piece of playground
Yeah, I
equipment.
agree
I
with
would,
that.
I wouldn't try to look hard for $5,000 to allow us to do it.
Yeah, I talked to Jim this afternoon about it, I'm good with it.
I'll make a motion to do that, we take the extra $5,000 out of BT funds to cover the extra cost of it.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Thursby, we have a second.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Lowry. Any discussion?
Do we have enough room down there, for the fall zone?
I verified with Mike today, I think he went down there
Yes,
and
sir.
checked it all
I've
out.
measured it off, there is room for the playground.
Oh, okay. And then I ask also, this is not the low bid, how do we get around that?
We're going to still have to send it up to Tallahassee to get formal approval on it, but the way we advertised it was up to $39,000, give us at least, they could give us 2 proposals they wanted to. Following our guidelines that we put in place with the money left in the grant, we're not asking for any additional money from the state, so I think it's gonna be okay with it, yes, sir, it's gotta be approved by the state.
And you bring that back to us, Jim.
If there's any problems at all, yes, sir, we will do
Okay,
that.
thank you.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0.
The next item we have is in reference to concerts in the park. The chamber has started putting these on. They're actually free to the public right now. They had one last Saturday night. We just want to make sure you're aware of them. We don't have a charge right now that we have charged them because they are free at this point. So if we consider, if you see problems, taxing our police department or public works, we may have to consider that. But at this point in time, I don't know that there's a need to charge, but we want to make sure you know about it.
What is the charge? down there, say like a Frank Bank Park or Full Park?
If it's remember we raised it up to $500, Mayor, if it's a wedding, those type of venue down there. If it's a non-for-profit, most of our facilities are $100.
Jim, was there a deposit on that?
They have not paid any deposit on these. no.
'Cause I think, I was talking to Bill after that Saturday night event, he said he was out there picking up trash, so I don't know if you wanna just hold on to $100 to cover payroll for someone that has to go pick up trash. But,
We denied other people using our other buildings, we said, well, I'm gonna do
That's
it.
why we brought it to you. yeah.
Women warriors, we was making them pay, and we're gonna make them pay, I don't see why anybody else shouldn't pay.
Mayor, I mean, I think a building's a whole different story, though. I mean, we're literally, I'm just wanting to cover our costs, if it's free to everybody, if you're making money off the event, absolutely, we need to charge, but if it's free for everyone, I wanna cover any costs that are incurred.
Just using $100 deposit,
Well, for cleanup, yeah, if they don't
if
clean
they
it up.
clean it up, they get the money back.
Sure.
I've been doing it.
Yeah, I'm good with that too.
Yeah,
because it's
I
not-
look at it as almost like, Ghost on the Coast, Christmas on the
Sure.
Coast, it's almost like city sponsored events.
Yeah, we don't even charge the farmer's market, they're making money.
Yeah, true, so.
John said no way.
There you go, I know, right?
So, but anyway, so we're gonna ask them to put $100 deposit down.
I think that's fair, and then they'll make sure that their staff are motivated to clean up after.
We need to vote on this.
No, sir. If you give us direction on that, that's why we brought it up, because it's a little bit of a different type of situation.
Not sure.
We'll do it. Okay. The next item we have is in reference to community rating system. Commissioner Lowry educated me a little bit on it last week, and I'll let him explain in detail as to what the program is.
Guys, this is a program through FEMA. It's basically there for communities to participate in it, for flood insurance, reductions, percentages. Right now, I handle this for the county, and county policyholders that have a flood insurance policy receive 10% of a discount. Hopefully in the next 6 months, we're gonna see county policyholders receive a 20% discount moving forward. So we're making some headway there. I brought this to Jim's attention on the headway that we're bringing. We've also got new flood maps that are coming in effect in 2018. A lot of the problems are gonna be in the city of Fort St. Joe. And I'm spearheading that. I've got them taking another look at the city of Fort St. Joe. They're doing new LiDAR, with a grant they got from the state. And this is just kind of icing on the cake if we can get involved in this program. And basically what it does is we fill out some paperwork, they put us in the CRS community rating system, and they look at elevation certificates and there's a model flood ordinance and other items that they can piggyback, the city can piggyback off the county, to do. So, I would ask you guys, the board, to direct our staff, to start working in that direction. We do know these flood rates are gonna increase, no doubt. I hate it, but a start on this would help. So,
You need a motion to move forward with that, Jim, to give you direction.
I think Commissioner Lowry's exactly right. I don't think we're gonna have any choice, because when we're looking at what could happen in 2017 or 2008 with these new maps, people are gonna be looking at us to get all the help they can. So I think we're gonna have to, so I think it's the right idea. I think we need to look and start working hard to get this program in place. I
So
agree.
we have to put a system together that'll allow us to get the discounts, very similar to the fire rating, system that we have. And, so, I'm all for it, we just need to put it together, make sure it happens, and, dot all our i's, cross our t's.
We'll start working on it.
We're responsible for this now.
So I'll make a motion that we move forward, Jim, to, give y'all direction to work with, county planner to, get these discounts. Is that correct? Is that right?
I would say you make it to where they're working with, Department of Emergency, the State Department of Emergency Management,
Make it.
and filling out the paperwork for CRA.
Okay.
We make the motion.
Keep your name on
Hey,
it.
why don't you make the motion, I'll give you a second on that, that's a mouthful there, Bree.
I make a motion, to move forward as discussed.
Oh, I could've done that, B.
Got a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Thurston. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next item we have is lights on Mimosa. Commissioner Ashbrook, want to talk to you tonight about it.
Sure, yeah, I had a call from a concerned citizen, and I drove out there in the middle of the night, and since all the light poles and telephone poles have been tore down there, at Patton Park, well, there's absolutely no light, you really can't see your hand in front of your face. And while we're working with Duke to convert over to LED, I was wondering if we could maybe have John take a look, see if there's any place that we might be able to put a pole out there in the neighborhood.
Normally what we do is when you give us a request like that, we get Duke Energy, we task them to do an evaluation for us. Most of the time, they're gonna tell you an overkill of the number of lights they want, so we're probably gonna come back and reduce it down. But yes, sir, that's what we need to do.
Okay. If you can do that, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, the next item we have is in reference to the curb at Reed Avenue and First Street. Mr. Ashbrook, want to talk to you about it?
Yes, if you're headed towards First Street and you're trying to make a right off Reed Avenue, if you ever want some entertainment, I sat out there for about 10 minutes and saw 3 trucks jump over the curb. It is extremely tight in there. And to try to make a right-hand turn when there's traffic turning into Reed Avenue is nearly impossible with a pickup truck. I think Chief can attest to that. He's probably bumped the curb a few times in the truck, but I've spoken with John, and do you think, John, that that's I'm not gonna say an easy fix, nothing's easy.
No, I'll look at it.
But if we can trim it back like 3 feet or so to allow a little bit of a wider berth to get through there. Vehicles get bigger and bigger every year.
I briefly looked at it today, but, let me, just give me some time to look and see exactly what we can and can't do.
I mean, they're doing that all over the city in those curves. I think once we start, we may not have an end to retrofitting those things. Somebody hit one on Third Reed a week or so ago with a trailer, actually hit a tree in the bed. So, I think we need to look at it and think long and hard before we get too crazy with it.
Well, I think as far as trailers are concerned, I think we need to keep trailers off Reed. It's just not a very great place to be pulling a boat around. So
I
maybe,
agree with Commissioner Brzee. We need to think more about it, because you're gonna get bigger, wider trailers on Reed, and that's gonna fall from.
I mean, I'm just saying, just a standard pickup truck can't make that turn, so, I mean, we can put up signs that say no trailers and enforce it. If you could just look into the feasibility of it, I mean, see what it might cost,
Maybe at least on the straight ends.
yeah, on the ends, enter into the highway, that's all I'm talking about, I'm not talking about every corner, just that one.
I agree with you.
All right, next item we have is proposed legislative bills. Commissioner Ashbrook, want to talk to you about it?
On the road tonight.
All right, our freshman legislature up in Tallahassee is trying to take everyone's power away from them and yank it back up to the state level. I spoke to everybody at the last meeting about how they're trying to pull control of where vacation rental houses can be. And then I find out that they're trying to stop us from being able to regulate our own local businesses. And Jim, you've read more about that. What specifically, as far as the business, are we going to be able to work with?
Yes, sir. What it's looking like is the proposed tax that they're trying to do, they're trying to take it away from the ability from the local jurisdictions to be able to do zoning. Basically, right now, what we look at is we go out there and we look at, okay, if somebody's going to put a hamburger shop in XYZ parcel, we go out there and make sure that it's properly zoned. If you take that ability away, the fear is that, okay, you could have something in a location that you may or may not want to do. So we're trying to take that ability away from where it's zoned.
Okay, and my proposal is, Walton County wrote an ordinance, was it an ordinance? A resolution, I'm sorry, yeah, a resolution that they sent out to Tallahassee, and I'd like for us to consider adopting a similar resolution that basically encourages Tallahassee not to pull local power away on several issues. And I will make that in the form of a motion.
And I'll second that.
All right, got a motion. Ashbrook, second by Commissioner Thurston. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right. The next item we have is the fishing regulations. Commissioner Thursby, want to talk to you tonight about it?
Guys, I don't know if any of y'all read, 2 or 3 weeks ago that, Lake County had, drawn up a resolution, I believe it was a resolution to, send on the fishing regulations, a letter to the state asking for more local, to hear from the fishermen, and to hear from the people that are in the business, to help them regulate and to give them some say-so in things. I'm not asking for a vote tonight, but I'd ask for over the next 2 weeks, if you guys would all look into this maybe and see what y'all think and see if we could possibly at least write them a letter of support, or maybe write a letter the same as what they've written. I've talked to a lot of fishermen around here. Tourism, the fishing trade in our area is very big, and every year more and more regulations and red tape are put on these guys, and it's not only hurting them, it's hurting our economy. I just ask that y'all look it over. Maybe y'all all have, and we feel comfortable moving forward with tonight. If you do feel comfortable, I'm fine with us moving forward with at least a letter of support, but if not, then, and I have spoke to the local fishermen. I spoke to Eugene Raffield and several more, and, that was what they advised me that we should do.
I agree with you, Commissioner Thursby. I'm for a letter of support. It's gone way, way too far.
It has, and it's gotten to where that it's gonna, eventually just kill the business.
And it's killed some of it, because a lot of our friends and
Yeah.
constituents, I mean, are even going out of the business.
Would y'all like to, possibly get it, Bill Dozier, I think, was the one that sent the letter, maybe get Jim to get a copy of that letter?
Commissioner, I did find it for you.
You
So
did?
It's in your handout, yes. We
Okay,
did get
I'm
it.
sorry,
We
I
did
hadn't
get
got
it.
that far,
We
okay.
did get it.
Basically,
What do y'all-
we would propose, that, we, are in favor of US House Bill 200, that supposedly can solve many issues that are listed. I think that's the, bill that he's proposing that, we all support.
Sure.
So
Are y'all for that?
I'm absolutely.
All right, I'll make a motion that we move forward and send a letter to, I'll send a letter to the governor and whoever else we may need to in the fishing industry,
Do the federal level.
federal level.
Second for discussion.
All right, motion by Commissioner Thursby, second by discussion by Commissioner Ashbrook.
Why would we go ahead and pass a resolution in support of it? Send that out, I think it's a little more teeth to it.
I'm fine with that too, guys.
That's
Y'all fine with that?
Yes, sir.
All right, I amend my, motion that we go ahead and make a resolution to do this.
Second stands.
All right. First by Thursby, second by Ashbrook. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
The next item is a reference to Gateway Manor. This is something that came in today, gentlemen. What we have, if you go to your folder, oops, did I skip one? Well, no, this one,
January is on the new one.
we added it.
Well, I've got a new one, but there's a newer one than the new one. Yeah.
This came in today around lunchtime. It's something that's hot off the press.
Okay.
What we have, look at it, is Gateway
Oh, yeah,
Manor.
yeah, I've got that one.
What they have asked is, that they are trying to apply for financing. So what they have before you is they've asked for my signature on, some of their financial documents to apply for financing on there, indicating, that we have water and sewer available and the zoning, which is correct on there. But I want to make sure you were aware of this before I sign anything and send it on there. What they're proposing is, they're gonna come back to you, they'd have to come to you for a development order. This is for 30 units for senior citizens on there, so this is hot off the press on there. We can,
In the same location there now?
yes,
And they spoke to us about that early on in it, but we haven't had any talk since, right?
that's correct. We have a development order that's in place for 50 units currently now. What they're proposing here is to come forward and ask for a development order at a later time for 30 units. So, What they're wanting to do is they have a deadline to apply for finance, and apparently there's some money in Tallahassee they wanna apply for, so they've asked for me to sign off on this saying that, hey, it is zoned R3, which is true, that we have water and sewer capacity available, it is true.
Is there any down call to this?
I don't see anything on this at this point in time. This is strictly for them for financing. We are not giving a development order. That'll have to go to planning board, that'll have to have public hearings, all that.
And the letter's not obligating us to any, future money.
I'll make a motion that we move
Nothing else.
forward to allow you to do that, Jim.
Motion by Commissioner Thursby, second by Commissioner Brazil. Any further discussion?
I just wanna make sure that we're not obligated, just, I mean, that's.
Mr. Attorney, I'd like for you to look at this thing too, to see if any obligation on this thing, so you may wanna make it
Where's
contingent.
Yeah,
Let's make it contingent on,
Three.
because we need to hear it from the public, definitely.
Absolutely, so this to my understanding looks like it's all about just financing on there, it's not a development order by no means.
I'm good.
yeah, I'm fine as long
I mean, I got this when I first
Mario?
walked in here.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, motion passes 5-0.
The last item I have on there tonight, Mayor, is 513 Woodward Avenue, Block 33, Lot 13. If you'll turn over to page 49 and 50, you'll see a sample ordinance that was done some years ago that applies to 4th Street. We have a similar situation on Woodward Avenue that applies to 2 houses. The houses have been residential for ever and a day. At some point, they were changed over to C1A. So, and you have one of them that has a contract underneath it. So in order for them to sell that house and to be a continuing use as residential, you would need some kind of similar ordinance to put in place so that house could continue use as residential, because as it sits right now, it is C1A, it's commercial.
Yeah, well, you know, I've talked a lot about this, because we don't have a choice here. I mean, this guy, people didn't ask for this.
There's already a house there.
I know, there's 2 houses there. I don't see, Brett, you're into this, do you see where I'm coming from? We gotta do this,
I
don't we?
think bottom line is we need to just move forward.
I mean, it's kind of like a no-brainer on this one, you
So
know?
what's the process then? We just need an ordinance and have it advertised?
Well, I'll have to draft the ordinance, at our next meeting, we'll have the first reading, and then
Well,
It'll
tell
be
me this,
advertised.
in the essence of time, once you draft the ordinance, can we do a first reading sooner than next meeting? I mean, from what I understand, when you're dealing with financing, they got like 45 days, to make it happen. So I don't know.
I don't see a problem with that if you wanted to call a special.
I mean, it wouldn't take but 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think we should do that to help out these people. I know that they have done everything they could to try to buy this house, and they can't even hardly get financing on it. Because this
So
is
can you have it
commercial
written
lot.
up by Friday?
Trying to-
Sure,
You
absolutely.
guys wanna meet just noon at Friday, 5 minutes?
So have to advertise certain.
For the second reading.
The second
So,
reading,
okay.
guys.
We still wouldn't make it for the next,
Wouldn't make
it
it.
wouldn't, it's not gonna make it for the next meeting. It's only 14 days to the next meeting, we need 15 days.
Thursday?
Do it on Thursday. Well, you're doing some great
Still,
out, man.
I mean, we're not gonna make it for the next.
They won't do it.
We'll do it just as quick as we can.
All right, how about
As
that?
soon as you get it done, we'll call a special meeting, and then we'll get the advertisement done. As soon as that advertisement runs, we get the criteria, we'll get you back.
And if there's anything, Jim, that you
Then you
need
gotta have a
to
second reading and.
Yeah.
you have to submit a letter or something, I feel strong.
I talked to the owner the other day, I told her, I said, I didn't see a problem with it, we could get it done, and I explained to her it's probably gonna be 30 to 45 days, she may wanna go ahead and ask for that extension.
Okay.
All right.
So you'll get it all wrapped up, all.
Let me ask you something on that one. Can we be sure on that particular street that everybody else is kosher too?
What you have is, you have, looking at it in front of the credit union there, the lots all the way to 513, all those in there right now are C1A, which includes there's 2 houses that are involved, so.
So should we go ahead and do all them at the same time?
I would do both, that one and the house next
Let's
door.
do
Might
that,
as well.
guys. I mean, if not, we're gonna be right back here
So
with
it's
that.
513 back that way.
Yes,
towards-
there's one house next door. There's 2 vacant lots that is not gonna be affected, but there is a house next door.
And
that
just
is
so I'm
affected.
clear, we're not changing the zoning, all we're doing is allowing an exception in that area.
Basically grandfather.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Somebody can still buy both houses in the lot, and put up a commercial building,
Right, but
which is the intent.
I don't think we need
Just correct us, it's fine.
Yeah, I'll address it.
Run with it, run with it. All right, what else?
That's all I had, Mayor.
Oh? All right, John?
Yes, sir. We had three items on the agenda tonight. The first is Spinnaker Drive sewer extension. Last year, we installed a sewer line down Spinnaker Way, and we've had the owner come back and request a 250-foot extension to cover 6 additional lots. They understand, the cost would be less than $1,000, and they would cover those costs. They just asked if we could install it, so we'll bring it to the board tonight to see how you want us to proceed.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
More people hook up, the better.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I mean,
The second item is the city pier. This is the gazebo down at Pike Park. It received some damage during the storm back in January, and it's in need of some repairs. So I have went out and spoken with several contractors about those repairs, but I feel like we're in a position, if the board wants to move forward, we've got a proposal in front of you from a local draftsman, to draft some plans. Say here's what we're gonna do, and if we formally bid it, which we should do, everyone can bid on the same design. That way we're not getting a hundred, IEA and we're not getting around.
I like everything here, but can we get specific in this and say, pressure treated and so on and so forth? Pressure treated lumber is not listed here, I mean, they could put
No.
anything there.
This is just too
The plans, yeah, that's for the direct, the plans will say just that, stainless steel, steel body, something with stainless steel screws.
So you're gonna take this and then put it out in bid.
Well, we'll develop a set of architectural plans for the contractors to look at, to see what body.
So this 990 is just blueprint.
Correct, that's the one.
Just pressure, I say go for it.
All right on that?
Long bid threshold.
I just wanted to let you guys approve to do that, so.
All right.
The last item I have is sick pool. We have an employee who's been out for an extended period for medical reasons, and he's exhausted on his vacation and sick leave. So I want to request, permission from the board now to go to sick pool in the public works, to try to help this gentleman out to make sure he receives a good paycheck.
Yeah, I am, so I'll make a motion that we move forward on that if we need to put this in the form of a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Thursby, second by Commissioner Lyle. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right, so Larry?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Page 52, we did receive one bid for the repair of the tank lid at St. Joe Beach. Little steep. Looking over it, I think in our best interest just to go out and try to bid to replace the lid, so try to repair the thing.
What was the total, 6,000?
2,000.
Yeah, I think we can replace it, cheaper than that.
Yes, so I think so.
Can you bring us back replacement numbers?
Yes, sir.
I agree that we should do that. That's a good idea.
All right. What else, Larry?
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Questions for Larry?
All right, thank you.
Kevin, got an old well primary, it's a 10-inch well, so it's a big well, 630-foot deep. We've been, got something over the top of it, so we've been holding on to it for a while. It's a liability, so I'd like to go out with a request. Abandoned property, money's in the budget, so we need everything to do. I'd like to go and start bidding on that.
Anyway, you did that thing?
No, they'll do backfill, so there's a process, let's go do backfill.
I'm fine with that.
Make a motion, we allow them.
All right, got a motion by Commissioner Brazil, second by Commissioner Thursby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
We've got one of our sump instructors, should be back tomorrow, one that was failing on us, should be back, and get back on this week.
Thank you, cool. Don't.
Anything else for Kevin?
Thank you, guys.
Mike, I'm gonna see they put your name on this list. You got anything?
The only thing I have is that we have set the dates for the Stackhouse for the summer program, and we're scheduled to open the Stackhouse on June the 1st, which will be earlier than we have in years past. So there'll only be 4 days where the kids will be out of school, before it opens. So we're opening it earlier, and that's, that's all.
Could you, get with the, ladies there, and I know you always do this anyway, and the ladies that over at Washington, just see if there's anything that they saw that wasn't right last year that might need to be tweaked a little bit this year, so.
Absolutely. I touched base, this week with them, but I will follow up and we'll discuss further, do some more planning as we get closer to June first.
Great, thank you, Mike.
City engineer?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, not a lot, just construction starting the boat ramp, assuming y'all seen that, that'll continue on. I gave some water line plans, some preliminary plans to John, this evening for him to start looking at Long Avenue. And then the other one is Industrial Road should be back open for traffic, they're paving this afternoon, striking, so it should be back open.
I was gonna ask you about that, sir.
So that should be good, so that was all I had for you.
I was, down the boat ramp today, and I noticed we had some cones, but we also had some flashing lights. Those gonna be put up right there where they got the concrete barricade. There were two of the flashing light type barricades, the portable ones, that were just laying right there next to the barricade. I'm wondering if those, I mean, I'd like to see those put right there in front of the barricade, and even during the day. There were two of them, one of them laying down, I don't know if they're using, but both of them had lights on top of them.
Better be safe
Went
than
down
sorry.
there this afternoon, they moved the barricades.
Yeah, both lanes should have been open this afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was down there this morning.
Yeah, it was this afternoon.
They moved it today, but I'll make sure.
Yeah, look,
I know what you're saying.
anytime they block off something into that, we need extra, warning.
And Clay, I spoke with, Mr. Newsom today from Florida Contractors, and, he said that they had run into some issues with some pilings, and he said that there's a potential, we freak out, there's a potential that they might have to close it for maybe 24 hours at a time, potentially a couple of times during that, phase of the project. My question to y'all and you, Jim, is can we put a little bit of a blurb on our website? He said he could give us at least 24 hours notice if he had to close both lanes. But I think that we always
I
do the
thought it
cabinets
was
and
the
everybody.
understanding that if we extended it 6 weeks on one side, so I don't think we ought to back off that. If they
Well-
can't do it, then they can't. I mean, come on.
What is it that popped up?
I don't know about closing 2 lanes, I hadn't heard that.
Okay,
So
talk to
I
me,
need to,
because,
that's news to me, so I don't know about that. But the other is, the sheet piles were gonna be delivered Monday, they're being delivered Thursday. I don't see it affecting that. Closing the 2 lane thing, that's new.
yeah, he said that it may just be for a day, for 24 hours, it might have to happen, and I said I need to notify people when it does.
That's not, we had discussed that this week.
Jim, I know I spoke to you this afternoon about lighting down there. I don't know about if it was in there or not, or if it's not, we might have to come back and do it, but
We talked about that.
I don't know if it was, if it got put in there, but if not, we've got to have some lighting, and then I don't know if we can get a change order, or if we need to just go ahead and run conduit for the light poles. We just got to
Yeah.
have some lighting
So
on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. We have discussed that and we're waiting on, of getting conduit put in. Ultimately, Duke Energy is gonna be the one to install the lights. But, while we got it tore up, we get the conduit in, so we don't have to tear that part of it. He's coming in and put poles on it. So we're gonna talk about that and we will do that.
And we're under budget.
That's right.
Right
We should have
now.
money to do that.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else, Clay?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank y'all.
Bye.
Code enforcement, everybody looking over what code enforcement is doing. Next up, police.
Mayor, I don't have anything tonight unless the board has questions for me.
I don't, anybody else?
How was going good in the city? How was it at the range?
It's good.
Y'all pass?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Ms. City Clerk.
Yes, sir, we have, under mine canvassing board membership. Last year, Commissioner Ashbrook and I attended the canvassing board, and we need to go ahead and appoint who we're going to have serve on the canvassing board this year for the election.
Ms. Charlotte, I won't be able to participate.
All right, sir. What's the pleasure of the board as far as,
I mean, I can be on it. I'm not-
okay?
not up. Anybody's running, I obviously can. So, that's on legal.
Need a motion?
All right, now, am I to serve on the canvassing board like I did last year as well?
I think so.
Thank you, gentlemen.
That it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Citizens to be heard. Anybody in the audience wish to speak tonight?
Yeah.
Come on up.
Just ask a general question. Been getting a lot of questions come to me for the Gateway Manor, and what I wanted to do was invite them to do a seminar at our next meeting. But I wanted, the reason I'm bringing it up in the city council meeting is because I would like for the city to come and ask some questions also. I've seen a couple of their applications; they're very in depth. As to background checks, and financial statements, and even if you have adopted children and so forth and so on. I don't know if this is leading to something that's going to be a problem with people, trying to get them in place over there, not what, but I'd like to have them to come do a seminar in the city, be a part of the questionnaire based upon the application that's, coming out. They're very lengthy. Matter of fact, I saw one application, I think it read 20 pages. And it's in depth about personal business and stuff like that. And I think it needs to be understood, that if we're gonna have those kind of apartments for affordable people, how do they say, I think the city needs to be involved with even the question as to who can live in and who cannot.
When do you plan on doing this?
Well, we have our meeting on North Side on the 22nd at 11 a.m. So I'm gonna make the invitation to them, but I would like to, have the city maybe ask some questions or set up some questions.
Jessica, could you get a copy of
What
the presidential application
Yes, sir.
and get Jim or Charlotte and make a copy, put in our box so we can read up on it before the meeting, so.
Yeah.
So,
Good
and,
idea.
and also, Chester, the meeting starts at 11. Your meeting starts at
Put your
11,
front, put your front.
not 11:30.
Right.
So,
What
you
day
can
is it?
please make sure that
Yeah,
that happens, people come and then, so if you're chairman or whoever, they come ding dong 11 o'clock, can you please start the meeting and the folks that wanna be late can just be late.
That's right.
What day is that, Jim?
It's on the 22nd.
That Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah.
But now, the only reason we wanna do this, because like I said, a lot of the young people are coming up, and what has happened is they send applications out. I don't know where they're getting their names from, but they're sending applications out. And the gentleman brought one by, and I saw it, I said, rather lengthy. And then again, it might raise some issues as to eliminating certain people from going in, and I think the city.
Chester, I think it's a great idea. I've had so many people ask me, and I don't even have the answers for them, so maybe I can get some answers too, so I think it's a great idea. Just keep us all in touch.
Yeah,
I'll bring that.
make sure that they're gonna have a representative.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the key. If they're not, we need to move.
Well,
it.
if they don't have one, we won't.
Yeah, exactly.
Something different.
I think the bottom line is they're gonna have a representative to help individuals do that, but I'm fine with putting them on the spot that way. We
Right,
get,
right.
make that happen.
And because, eventually I think they're gonna come back to the city or to the county and say you allow this to come in and, there's no proper regulation for people.
And the county's got shift dollars in that thing too,
Right.
so they've gotta have their representative there on 10 or 15 of those units too, so.
We'll do that. The other one I wanted to bring up was, I talked to, Mr. Anderson, and probably gonna get with, John Bradley, on our Amnesty Day. We talked about that briefly. We need to have another Amnesty Day. When I was with Wage Pro, we set up 2 a year, and I think we only had 1 last year. So it's something we might need to do. And during the time that we were doing the cleanup of those houses, those blighted houses, it might be a good time to also throw in some amnesty with that, so we can get some free cleanup. And I'd like for us to kind of look at a date
that we might be able to do that while I got some people over there volunteer to help clean up. Thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else? All right, Commissioner Thursby, let's start with you.
Since the last meeting, I just want to let everyone know that I will be running, for Group 1 City Commissioner again this year. I went in unopposed my second term. This will be the third term I'm going for. I just want to thank everybody that has supported me over the past 4 years. I've thoroughly enjoyed the job. I feel like I've done some good. You don't always make the decision to make everybody happy, but you always try to make everybody happy. You know, people have always said, William, don't worry about it. You can't make everybody happy. Well, you can't, but you can try. And I put my heart and my soul into it. I've thoroughly enjoyed the job, and I hope that everybody can support me again over the next 2 years. And I want to just thank y'all for the opportunity you've given me to be there for you, to be your commissioner, and to the experience that I have had being there for the people of our community has really just changed my way of thinking in so many ways, and given me a different outlook on life and a different outlook on things altogether. I still learn all the time. Sometimes I don't always make the right decision, but between me and the good Lord, I always pray about it before I get here, and I put my heart and my soul into it, and I just want to thank our community. That's all I got.
All right.
William stole my thunder. Absolutely, everything that he said, I am also intending on running for C2, and also have opposition. And it has been a great opportunity, and I'm gonna tell you, it's an experience, and it changes you as a person. You know, we're not up here imposing our will. We're here to do what's best for the big majority of the people. And a lot of times, people don't like that. There's always a small group or a few people that don't like the way that you vote. But you know, like he said, I can go to sleep at night knowing that, you know, I always try to make the decision that the good Lord would want me to make, and what's best for everybody. So I do appreciate the opportunity to serve for these last 2 years, and I hope to serve 10 more, or at least 2 for now. Again, I appreciate it. Vote may not. That's it.
All right. Mr. Lowry.
I just want to tell the board, you got about 25 happy pickleballers out there. And John basically took the charge on it and got all the equipment out there went and got all the equipment. They're gonna be painting those lines, probably later this week. So they're extremely happy. Appreciate the help, John.
We'll end up playing.
They're gonna paint the lines there, yeah, by the bay.
What else you got? That's it. Mr. Rosette.
Mayor, today we had, 2 utility service companies, in town doing work on city property, pretty much unbeknownst to Mr. Grantham and unbeknownst to the city manager. One, they dug a tree right there on the city right of way in front of the Methodist Church, and then down 20th Street, they were boring under the road.
I saw this.
With that being said, talking to John, we have no utility permit applications in our city. So anybody could come in at any time and start working without saying a word to us. So I would like the city attorney and along with the city manager to draft some kind of utility permit application requirement for our city, and bring it back to us next meeting, and then if we get it passed and everything we like, then it would be the job of staff to notify all these companies that have ever done any work in our city. That's required.
I agree.
They've made a mess down there, we gotta make sure they put it back, sure the owner's not happy about that tree.
We'll be the one to catch it.
Right, right.
But I'll be honest with you, when I pulled by, I thought it was so.
Jim, have you been on the phone with them or anything?
We did not know today.
John, have you been on the phone with who? Anybody that, stood an interview? Correct?
No, it's, it was well, it may be,
Or new
well, it's
contract.
BTC or something like that on the side of the truck. And then, Jason White, I think, is it Jason White Construction? Who was it in Methodist Church? I don't remember that.
Technically, Blind Catholic Construction.
Yeah, right. The development order from the church possibly allowed that, which is fine, but they should have notified the city and John that we're gonna be here in the morning and start digging.
Well, they didn't know where any locates were or anything when they started digging, did they?
My knowledge,
John?
they could have made a mess.
Yeah.
They were advised by, still here, Clay, last Friday actually, to let us know, and just failed to do it.
So I like that,
Yeah, I agree.
I agree, 100%, yeah.
Now,
I hate that we're gonna use manpower to pay for their repairs, pretty much. I mean, that's ridiculous.
we had one, Tracom 2 years ago, just hooked up to the fire hydrant and started filling up their water.
I remember that.
And disrupted the whole neighborhood. Everybody had orange water and raising sand buzz. So, anyway, I think we should have a permit. The other thing, you fellas know that for a long time I've been supporting the renovation of the Centennial Building. The oldest civic building in the city is in disrepair. My question to you is, are you interested in having the Centennial Building renovated? Is there gonna be any support for me to go out and put a package together to renovate the Centennial Building? That's my question. I'm not gonna get any support from the board to renovate the Centennial Building.
I'm good with using grant funds.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not pulling out more monies to do it. Maybe we're matching out of BP, but, no, I'm all for it. I think it needs to be done. And where are we at on the grant request on it?
That's in the state, we're far down the list, it's doubtful we'll get it. The Ford Theater's ahead of us, which is great, we said either one of them gets it, it'll be a good thing for the city. But I think in this cycle, I don't think we're gonna get it, we'll have to reapply. They pared down our estimate quite a lot, which will allow us to do a lot of it, basically ourselves.
Well, now that the roof, knock on wood, now that the roof is repaired, what is our priority list? I mean, I think maybe, is it something we need to workshop to see what our priorities is?
I'll get Ms. Charlotte putting that together. They came back, our initial estimate was around $500,000.
Right.
That's what we applied for. The state folks came back and got it down around 250, 280, somewhere in that neck of the woods, which might take care of everything. We would, not our total wish list,
Right.
but as far as the floor, curtains, acoustics, those type of things that
Yeah, I think
Make
going after the big fish of $500,000 is gonna be a lot harder to get. I think if we submitted it in small chunks.
And yeah, we'll apply again this year, but I just need to know, that I'm not gonna work hard on it if you guys don't want it.
I would say work hard on the floor first.
Well, acoustics are worst place, we got to fix that, we got, you guys know how many big events we have there. And it just needs to be done, so.
I support it.
I'm okay. All right. That's all I have.
That's it?
Yep.
All right, I have a couple of things. Jim, I just wanna see CDBG grant we got for water lines. And the, money we got from the water management. We've already gotten the 80,000.
Water management, we have been approved, yes, sir. They've actually sent all the grant information on that one, so that one's taken care of. The one with the CDBG is the one that Bruce Bowster's working on for us. And they sent some, items that he needs to go through and make sure he does in order to move forward on that project. But yes, there's a lot of hoops that Mr. Bowster's going through right now.
He jumps through every one of them.
Yeah, is there anybody looking over?
Staying on top of that.
Look under his shoulder.
We have seen
We didn't have one last year.
Absolutely.
No, Jim, I'm serious, even if it's you. it's
All right,
not-
as long as we staying on top of it.
We've got the grant,
CDBG,
There's some hoops he's gotta go
pretty
through.
much, but we're not, I don't know if.
We're not completely out of the woods
I don't
yet.
know if all the i's have been dotted, all the t's been crossed. Yeah. Anyway, we need to stay, make sure we stay looking over each shoulder as we get this done. And the other thing, we were talking about street lights, and I think in the staff meeting Monday, Chief, did you say that y'all counted 38 lights that were not burning?
We-
I mean, that's 38,
Yes,
and we're paying for it.
every,
I mean, Duke Energy's gotta do something, or start
is
giving
that
us
the
some
ones
kind
that's
of credit.
flickering too?
every,
I don't count
it's
the
it's probably not the ones flickering, no.
Those two?
Every couple of months, our midnight shift compiles a list, and we reported on Monday 38 that were out to Duke Energy.
Do they get right on top of that, chief, on the repairs?
No.
So we have got to have some kind of dialogue with somebody up there with Duke Energy about, look, fellas, you're gonna give us some relief if you want to fix our streetlights. We're not gonna pay you if they're not burning. We're gonna start doing something, give you a report every month of how many lights are out. They gotta do something to help us out.
Jim, is that something our attorney could maybe write a letter and it would help him?
Possibly, but what we did do is, remember the last meeting, we talked about the LED upgrade?
Yeah.
I tried to get them to reduce the cost, they won't, but they have been ordered up. So we are on the list to get all of them upgraded, so we're hoping that that's gonna help with the problem of number of lights out, just for the mere fact that we're hoping that LEDs last a lot
We're
longer.
talking every light that's in.
Yes, sir. But how long is it gonna take for Duke Energy to get on the ground and do it?
Well, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm disappointed if they wanna charge us and the lights that we're paying for aren't working, we don't need to pay them till they fix our lights, whether it's LED or whether it's whatever.
They need to burn if we pay them for it.
Yeah, right.
Or
Yeah.
fix them before the LEDs.
And Jim, would you be opposed to asking them about the streets that we traditionally hang Christmas decorations of having power available on those poles?
We already did that.
We
They
can
want
at a
me-
price.
At a price?
At a price.
Of course, not cheap, either. Another thing, John, would you have someone go down on Reed and across the street from Pepper's there at the antique shop?
I visited,
The pavers,
I was there right after you this morning.
okay, cause anyway, the pavers that we put down, they stick up above the concrete sidewalk. And I've understood from the people that they've had a couple of people fall down. So you already looked, I don't know if we can shave them down to be even or that, worse.
I don't have anything to show you, concrete work.
I bet you will, just look at that for me.
Okay.
See what we can come up with. I'm trying to beat that rain, I don't know, I can't, y'all took too long. Tents. We got 2 tents, John, that we can set up in the street now.
Yes,
You like the third?
we have 2 tents, yes.
We wanna put in a request to get those put up for us if we can on the third, I don't know what day that is.
They work the same locations we always set them up.
Same as we always send them with. I went and said about the, tent from Capital City Bank, but you have to tell those people, Chester's on that committee, they need to take the bull by the horns and go ask to request it, cause we can't get it, they've already gone. But I can't remember things like that a lot of times, if I got all my other stuff, but if you got a committee, somebody on that committee should every year, January, go request that tent. That's the only way we're gonna get it.
It's been put on the calendar. It's not on the calendar.
No, nobody's asked the people at the bank about using it. It's already been put out for something else. Now, I went today to request it. Too late, but we'll get the tents we got from the city and we'll make do. That's all we can say this year. Next year, tell your committee person to be sure to request that tent in January.
In January, I shall.
All right, and, I don't think I got anything else wrote down except I will like to say that, this is the 4th time I've ran for office here in the city. It's the very first time I've had no opposition. I am very humbled. I appreciate everything that everybody does for me while I've been here. But as I say, I'm very humbled by this and nobody will run against me. I appreciate the fact that I told somebody, they said, well, you must be doing a pretty good job, Mayor. I said, wait a minute. I said, might be nobody else wants this daggone job. It might be why nobody run against me, nobody else wants it. But I truly appreciate everything, and I look forward to the next 2 years of working with this city, and especially working with the citizens, because the city, we'll take care of it, but the citizens, we've definitely got to take care of in our town. It's the only reason I'm here. If you got a problem, I can help you. If it's a legitimate problem, don't hesitate to call me, 340-0260. Thank you. I need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
All right, so move. Let's go.
Yeah.
On the Woodward Avenue.